In his book, Great Expectations, Charles Dickens wrote, quote, "And then I looked at the stars and considered how awful it would be for a man to turn his face up to them as he froze to death and see no help or pity in all the glittering multitude." End quote. What would that be like, to be that man, to be in agony as you succumb to frostbite, and to look up and see a sky full of stars of such beauty and wonder, only for them to stare down upon you with the coldest, crystalline indifference? This passage from Dickens became a metaphor to me of what I felt it would be like to go through life alone. And as I sit here writing this, I feel very much alone. I moved across the country just 1 month ago and still have yet to make new friends. And ironically, as someone who in the past was usually looking for polite ways to say I'd rather stay home, I'd now give an arm and a leg for a group of friends to harass me until I agreed to throw on a jacket and meet them. But far above all these feelings, like Everest over a little hill, is a deeper desire, that instinctual human need for companionship and family. There are visions I get every once in a while of what my life can still someday turn out to be. And I don't mean visions in a dramatic sense. I just mean pictures that pop into my head at random moments. Waking up in the middle of the night with moonlight streaming in through the window, illuminating the smooth skin of my wife's back as she sleeps. Looking into the eyes of my daughter, my actual daughter, a little person who looks like me, created out of nothing from the magic of man and woman. A vast, grassy front yard, mountains and rolling ocean waves beyond, a bright sun shining down on a beautiful woman with a baby on her hip, who I somehow get to call my own. There are a huge number of paths we can take in life, but we do have to take one, and the path we take has consequences, which can make us wonder if we made the wrong choice. I spent the last 2 years simply traveling the world and experiencing life, not building one for myself. And when I finally returned, I realized that in my lust for adventure, I'd fallen behind on many of the other things. How close am I to becoming that man Charles Dickens wrote about in Great Expectations, exiting this life surrounded on all sides by the beauty and contentment of others, yet myself alone and met with pitiless silence? Certainly closer than I'd like to be. But one thing I've learned is that regret is unavoidable, and making no choice is the only thing worse than making the wrong one. Even if I could go back, I wouldn't change a thing. The path of travel and adventure that I chose has given me something my friends and family could never really understand. And perhaps missing out on that magic is something they regret about the path they've chosen. The only way you really lose is if you keep your options open for too long. Because there will come a day where you realize, in spite of all that pushing off, your cards have been played, whether you meant to play them or not. And if the cards are going to be played, why not play them yourself? There's more than one way to win the game.